who is currently in Nyamira, just bringing us up to speed with various efforts that are being made to stabilize and improve the tea value chain. Wycliffe, good afternoon once more. If you can hear me, you were talking earlier on about the country pursuing certification for low carbon tea production here in the country. What more can you tell us?
Well, thank you so much, Abdi. Sorry for that technical hitch. And earlier on, I was telling you about where Kenya stands in terms of tea production in the global space. Kenya is the third producer of tea after China and India. And of course, through that, it is the leading exporter of tea. And from that export, Kenya is earning around 15 billion annually just through tea export. But then it is seeking to escalate that amount in the next between 5 to 10 years. It is seeking to double that amount. And all the way through that, for Kenya to achieve that, what do we need? Where are we? And that is the basis that I'm going to engage the FAO, that is the Food and Agriculture Organization Assistant Representative for Kenya, Mr. Williams Amisi, basically to take us through why we are at Nyansiongo Tea Factory and what we seek to achieve through this field feasibility. This is KBC Channel 1, our lunchtime news. Maybe you may want to speak to our viewers, tell us why we are here at Nyansiongo and exactly what Kenya needs to achieve low carbon certification so that it can escalate its earnings from the current amount.
No, thank you so much. As you have said, Mr. Williams is my name. But let me jump straight, picking from what you have just said. When you look at the statistics you have given, for those other countries that we are competing with, so basically they have their market from within. But you see Kenya is the leading exporter, meaning our market is outside Kenya. Now what that does tell you that we must always be alert to make sure that we meet the demands of the market. And that maybe that demand of the market is also being dictated by other factors. Presently, here is the whole issue of the climate change and issue of carbon emissions, and we do it right. So this is how FAO is working together, brings in China to have this in the low carbon tea. Basically looking at how do we make sure tea production, processing, consumption, how do we reduce, not eliminate the issues of the carbon. And this goes on the way of our practices at the farm level. So what are the new farm practices that we can put in place? How have we also been, what are the new ways of processing tea that will really make sure that we are eliminating gases and carbon? With this will ease for us the penetration into markets further. So let me just give you, for example, now, what exactly are we doing in this particular project? So working together with the Kenya Research Institute, to be specific, the Tea Research Institute under Chinese Academy of Agricultural Sciences, we have been able to bring this research at the research level. What are the that will be of the changing climate, at the same time coming up with the low levels of the carbon level. And then now from there we move to the next level. You process the tea. How do we make sure that we process it in a manner that we reduce this traditional way that we've been doing, cutting the trees, the burning and the legs, so that the processing itself also is actually reducing a lot of the carbon there.
Right. If I maybe just throw in a question to you. Yeah. Right now we are at Nyansiongo Tea Factory. This is just one of the 71 tea factories that we have across the country. Yeah. There is the concept of co-firing. What does that mean? And as we wrap up this conversation, you may want to tell us what co-firing means and green production. Yeah. Where are we and where do we intend to go? Yeah.
So when you wrap it up, as you say, within this particular factory, we've had now stakeholders, including our partners from China, together in a workshop. So we came now into the field because these are part of the factories under KTDA that are going to benefit on the technologies that are coming, including the co-firing that you're talking about, so that we make sure that the way we do, we ease off on the burning of the trees that we've been doing, so that this is a reduction, especially on the carbon emission. One thing I have to tell you very quickly is that of the 650,000 smallholder farmers that we're working with, the idea here is that at the end of the day, working with other stakeholders, the Green Alliance, the Fair Trade, we want to make sure we reach a level where they are marked, so that their tea is marked low carbon tea. That means more penetration into the market. And I think that is very critical. And that is where we are targeting.
Thank you so much, Mr. Hamisi. Abdi, that is Mr. Hamisi Williams, the Assistant Representative for Food and Agriculture Organization in Kenya, talking to us about this entire journey that Kenya is walking as it seeks the certification for low carbon tea. And right now we are at Nyansiongo Tea Factory. This is just a continuation of the field feasibility research to ensure that by the time Kenya is getting that certificate, all the factories, the 71 of them across the country, embrace green production. Well, this is just a snippet of what we are covering this moment, but many of it, much regarding this particular project, will come to our viewers later on.